Well, it's our first conversation out of the World Economic Forum Davos 2025. It's Monday morning and it's biting cold here. Or maybe, as our guest Florence Verzelen would say, not so cold. But of course, for the uninitiated, Dassault Systems, strong presence in India, Mumbai, Pune, Bangalore, and Chennai. And she, of course, is the Executive Vice President of Industry Marketing and Sustainability of Dassault Systems. And had told us the last time that she loves India. I'm sure the opinion is same this time. But Florence, thank you so much for speaking to us.
And I still love India, of course. Thank you so much for inviting me in Davos.
Yeah, but it's a bit of a perfect storm of sorts to be in Davos, right? I mean, the cooperation in a fragmented world is the Trump swearing-in ceremony today. How do you view the world from your prism currently, Florence?
Well, what I can see is that the world is getting more and more complex, which is weird because at the same time, it's never been so easy to do amazing things, especially with the power of digital twin and AI. But it's getting more complex because a lot of my customers in India, in Asia, are very worried about taxes and like the fact that it's going to be more complex to do a trade with the United States. So really, I feel huge enthusiasm about AI and the power of Gen AI, but at the same time, like worry about how are we going to manage it? Do we need to be more efficient in terms of operation, cost of manufacturing? Do we still need to be investing a lot in innovation? And like there is this kind of weird moment where there's a lot of enthusiasm of what can be done and a bit of fear about the effect of the new US government.
Yeah. So, I mean, let's talk about that for a moment. Donald Trump coming in, very likely tariffs will move up. We don't know the extent, but let's assume they move up a little. That may lead to a year of higher interest rates as opposed to lower interest rates as well. How do you see growth in such a scenario, Florence?
Well, it's a very interesting question. I see growth because, in a way, companies will need to invest a lot in order to keep up with the operational efficiency, to drive costs down, to kind of match the taxes. For example, in India, lots of investment on electric vehicles, especially two-wheelers. I think India is really running the world when it comes to electric two-wheelers. And what is great about India is they're doing that. For example, Simple Energy, who are working with us, by driving all costs down. And in that regard, I think India has really an advantage because they've always worked on frugal innovation. So compared to other countries that were not in that model, they really are going to get an advantage on it.
Interesting. I mean, the India Forum or the India Pavilion this time around speaks about how 40% of the vehicles in a few years will be totally electric, so on and so forth. So you hit the nail on the head. Just talk to us about how do you see policies in India, one, supporting growth, two, attracting capital into India to become, I mean, for manufacturing in India for India and manufacturing in India for the world.
No. What I think is the most impactful among all the Indian policy to attract investment from everywhere in the world, that's what they've done on skills. I can tell you we've been working with India since 20 years, and the improvement in education skills development is just amazing. Our people in Pune, they're among the smartest we have. They're not only the smartest, but the most innovative and the most enthusiastic. And it's really helping because over the past few years, India has been the country where we have invested the more when it comes to people in R&D, of course for the Indian market, but more importantly for the rest of the world. When it comes to software for EV innovation, but also for marine and offshore, for consumer goods, now for life science. 2 years ago, we opened a life science lab in Pune in order to serve the world. We are making it in India because of the level of education of India. So this is something very smart. And then the other very smart thing is also all the Indian schemes when it comes to cities, digital twin of the cities, sustainability in cities. I think India is the country which is investing the most. And the third one where I'm seeing a lot of impact, it's renewable energy. On Q3, India was a country in the world where there was most investment in renewable energy. Before it was China, now it's India. And this is thanks to an Indian government putting scheme to attract companies, but also putting scheme in order to make sure that the R&D is happening in India with Indian people.
Thank you, Florence, and wishing you a happy 2025 and have a great Davos.
Thank you very much. You too.
Thank you so much, and viewers, thanks for tuning in. Well, at the